team, and welcome back to what will be episode 6 of the Chasing Sub 60 series. So we've got a double day on the cards today, plus a work day. We got back from Poznan yesterday, so go and watch that vlog if you haven't already. I'll put a link to that there. Where obviously we will mix doubles. Now that means that we've got 5.5 weeks to improve on that before solo in Manchester. It was a really good race, to be honest. Everything went well. We'll do a proper debrief later, but it did highlight some weaknesses for me, and specifically some imbalances in my legs. Notably that my right leg is a lot weaker than my left leg on quads, but hamstrings are pretty much the same. So we've changed the programming. We're attacking a new block. We've got 5.5 weeks to get ready. And today is going to be the first double day of that block. Now, structure is going to be the same. We're going to do lower body, which we've just done, which I will put some clips of shortly. And we're going to do a tempo run later on, which will be 5k easy, 4k fast, 1k really fucking fast, and then a 1k cool down. So we're going to take you through the day and just see what goes on in a day in my life. First things first, breakfast. You'll only really know that if you're a Scouser, so that could just sound really autistic, but we're going to go with it. We've got oats on the cards. We've swapped peanut butter for Nutella, which is, look at that, oh, with the Christmas tree as well. We're going to get this eaten. I'm going to cut out how many times I've just said there. And then we'll see you shortly. Session done, or session 1 of the day done. Legs and conditioning. Finishing with a 20-minute EMOM. Vanessa. Dino was in with us. Dino loves a little bit of graft, proper little workhorse. Smasher though, he's getting well fitter. I feel alright too, just my shoulders are blown. It was a really fun one, that. Look forward to doing that more often. So it's 10 AM, we've just been doing some work, cleaning some emails, and I thought it's about time to go and get a coffee and also have a quick race debrief. So first, how did the race go? Pretty well if you'd ask me. Flag behaviour. However, it wasn't perfect, and there were a few weaknesses that I think are going to need addressing before Manchester. So let's make a coffee and have a quick chat about it. Okay, so now that that's sorted, let's go on to the race breakdown. Now, I must say, on the whole, the race went brilliantly well. Potentially better than I expected it to. And I need to give a shout out to Beck because her performance on the day was fantastic. She ran the best she's ran. She performed well on the stations. We split things slightly heavier in my favour, naturally, with it being men's weights. But on the whole, she was brilliant. However, what I say next is a reflection of my performance and my performance only. So I'm going to start by saying I do feel good at the minute. I feel quite fit and my running feels great. I'm comfortably hitting 3:30, which I've not done previously, per kilometre that is. And on the whole, I do feel pretty decent. However, from running the 102 as a doubles, it's made me realise how difficult it's going to be to run 58, 59 on my own in Manchester. And it's also highlighted a few weaknesses that I've got. So for example, burpee broad jumps, everyone hates them, however they're a strength of mine. I'm very explosive and have a good engine, which means the burpee itself isn't particularly difficult. And then the jump, I can cover, 2 metres per rep, which I didn't realise was a lot until I looked around and realised it really is. However, sled push, I need to get better at. I did well with Beck, sled pull. Sled pull I need to get better at. I did well with Beck, but again, I had that little respite there, but it didn't feel as easy as it should have done, which is something that I need to work on, but I don't get a lot of volume in my training with that, so that's been a change that's been made in the programming. The other thing, the kryptonite for me is wall balls. I don't find them hard muscularly at all. I don't get lactate build up in my legs. I don't get lactate build up in my shoulders. However, the rhythm of me breathing's terrible. I did 25 on the weekend when we did 25, 25, 25, 25, just for these. But I noticed that whilst I don't feel it muscularly, aerobically I do. I struggle to breathe and I'm just not very good at them. So that's something that really needs to change, which is exactly why this morning you saw thrusters in there. A barbell thruster is essentially a really heavy wall ball. So they're being added to sort of get volume in there, get used to the rhythm of doing that movement, get strong in that movement pattern. So when I drop down to a 6 kilogram wall ball in January, it should be really easy. The other thing that I'm looking at building on as well is just general aerobic fitness. Again, I feel fit at the minute and I feel strong at the minute. However, I don't feel fit enough to achieve the goal that I want to achieve in Manchester. So I've added in slightly more conditioning work. Now I'm going to do that at different zones, with each one with a different focus, but there will be more circuit style training than there has been in my program. Not all of that is going to be at maximal intensity. A lot of it will just be about moving well and moving with good quality so that those adaptations can take place, because you essentially want to be doing a lot of the work aerobically, meaning that, your zone 2, maybe zone 3 work, potentially zone 1 work, depending on where your threshold is, because it's different for everyone. Everyone gets different adaptations in different zones, so that I can get my body more efficient at utilising oxygen for fuel, as opposed to sort of moving into that anaerobic state where you start to see lactate build up and you start to surpass that threshold, which is where things start to go awry and the wheels can start to fall off a little bit. So I think overall the race went really, really well, but I need a lot of work on sled pull and a lot of work on burpees. Sled push I'm okay with, but running off the push I sometimes struggle with, but that's just something that will come, again, with more practice and more time. So we're going to crack on with some more work, because it's the first day you come back from annual leave. It's always the busiest day. Then lunchtime we're going to go and get the usual mince and rice. Again, if it's not broke, don't fix it. Good calories, good macros. And then tonight we've got a tempo session, so I'll take you there for that as well. I'm just working, but I thought I'd show you this because she started doing this every single time I work from home. This. It is 12:05. We've taken a earlier lunch than we would do normally, which would normally be 1 o'clock. We're gonna get the beef and rice in the microwave and clean up some dishes, and then we're gonna do something slightly different today. Instead of going for a walk, which is what I would normally do, I'm going to edit the Poznan vlog, or at least start editing the Poznan vlog. As you can imagine, there's 5 days worth of footage there, so there's a lot to get through. And I don't actually know when I'm going to get a chance to do it. So I'm going to start now, see what I can get done, and then hopefully finish it tonight. So whilst I'm doing the dishes, I thought it would be a good time to talk about something that I don't actually think I've spoken about on here before, which is the importance of calorie volume, or like how many calories you're eating at any given point, depending on the goal that you've got. So at the moment, I am eating in a caloric surplus, which means I am gaining weight, which means I am also gaining body fat. Now, I'm not the leanest I've ever been. I am potentially the biggest I've been because my strength would reflect that. But it's very important that when you're chasing a performance-based goal that you're fueling your body adequately. One of the things that I see a lot of athletes do, and I've done it in the past as well, is that you try and chase peak performance whilst under fueling. Meaning that you're chasing 6-pack abs at the same time that you're chasing, for example, a new marathon PR or a new deadlift PR, or, you know, a personal record in your HYROX, which can be doable. It's not to say that it can't be done, but it definitely isn't the easiest and most efficient way to do it. Like anything, your body is a vehicle. It requires fuel in the engine. If you're not giving your body sufficient carbohydrate or sufficient calories in general and fuel, you're not going to get the most out of it. You're not going to be as fast as you could be. You're not going to recover as quickly as you could do. You're going to be more injury or have higher likelihood of injury than you would do otherwise. And all in all, your sessions aren't going to have the same quality. You're not going to feel as good in those sessions. So one thing I would definitely recommend is that don't just think that because people you see on Instagram are ripped all year round, and because you want to feel good about yourself or you want to do your race with no top on, that you need to, you know, smash yourself into a calorie deficit and focus on getting as lean as possible and eating as little as possible while trying to train most likely more than you've ever trained in your life. Because if you're trying to do that, the chances are you're not going to perform optimally, you're not going to perform at your best, which is of course what we're all chasing. And just like that, it is 20 to 4. So I'm going to get a pre-run snack. So I'm going to be running at about 5 and I need to get some carbs in and I want it to be fully digested. So we're going with Lidl sourdough, a little bit of Nutella, which we wouldn't normally have, but Beck got given it and it needs using, with some jam. Use Lidl sourdough when we don't go to Lagon, which is the local bakery, because Lidl's bakery is fantastic. So this is the seeded sourdough that we're going to have. We're going to get 70 grams of that in, 10 grams of Nutella, 10 grams of jam. That'll be 280 calories and 51 grams of carbs, which is ideal. Just top up them glycogen stores, making sure that we're fully fueled before we go into the tempo session, which you will see in a little bit. Work day's done. Long day, busy day, just catching up on everything after annual leave. And now it's time to go and run. But, dilemma, we need to figure out what the t-shirt that we're going to use for the run tonight is. Because I've been smashing the March on ones recently. And I feel like, don't know, need to change. So I'm thinking about what to wear. I don't really know, to be honest. Decided to go with this. This is from a brand called Boxer, which I used to use a lot when, well, kind of what it says on the tin was boxing. It is very sweat wicking and therefore ideal for when you're running. More importantly, ideal for when you're running on a treadmill, and it's like an oven. So going to get the trainers on, head over to the gym, do a little 8 minutes worth of mobility work to loosen up the lower back and the legs after sitting at my desk all day. Do the tempo work on the treadmill, and then I think go out with the bears for an easy 5k afterwards. Now it is absolutely bucketing down up there, so it's probably going to be a bit of a wet run, but it'll be fun nonetheless. So I'll show you what I can. I don't know what I'll be able to get footage of, but yeah, we'll see you at the gym. Paid attention to. It is now 5:15, meaning that I've got 50 minutes to drive to the gym, do mobility and get me tempo work done, inclusive of warm-up, before the running club set off. So that could be a bit of a squeeze, and I'm hoping that there's treadmills free, because this time of evening sometimes at the gym it isn't. But we're going to do our best, see what we can do. Got the boys out for session 2 part B. Big Christoph.
It's got a light.
It's got a light.
I didn't know you get a light.
Stevie boy. Woo! Little easy 5k with the bears. That's what we like to see.
In the rain.
Oh, in the rain. Bang.
In the dark.
In the dark.
His skin is what?
Waterproof. Even though we've all got coats on. Big Chris coming back for 13 Valleys, round 3. So I've just been for my run. I nipped in the shop to get some bits for tea, and we've come back to this email. Oh yeah. Guess we're going to Wales then. It's official. We have qualified. Fucking get in. One area that I'm noticing that I am getting better at more quickly is the running. Like, historically, getting fast was a big struggle for me. But I think a lot of that was to do with such high volume, whereas I pulled my volume right back from 130k in ultra training down to around the 50k mark a week, which is working for me nicely. That consists of 15 to 20k easy long run at the weekends, you know, a 15k speed workout, and then like a 10 to 15k easy. This week's slightly different because of traveling and so on and so forth. It's more just a case of get done what I can. But yeah, reducing the volume, having a better quality of session, having a better recoverability from those sessions is definitely helping an awful lot. And it's something that I would urge people to consider, is that whilst running more definitely is going to help and going to help you build that sort of aerobic capacity, if you're looking to get faster, don't think that you need to run at pace more often. Think about the quality of that intensity that you're doing. So when you add an intensity into a session, think of how well you can go through and how well you can complete that workout, because that's going to be the biggest factor in how fast you get and how quickly you get fast. So that being said, I'm going to get some tea. To be honest, for convenience and time, I'm just having chicken wraps. 2 wraps, 240 grams of chicken, a little bit of soft cheese, 500 calories or 600 calories or whatever it is. I'll put the exact calories and macros there, just in case you're interested. But yeah, just quick and convenient. Get that down me. And then I don't know whether to go and finish editing that video or do more of it. or just to chill out, because it's 7:10 now. I'm in the gym again in the morning, and then obviously in work all day. So, we shall see. Oh, so, we opted for the decision to call it a night. I'm going to end the vlog there. Hope you enjoyed episode 6 of Chasing Sub 60, where fitness has started to finally all come together, and yeah, progress is definitely being made. I'm going to look at getting an early night ahead of the gym tomorrow, hence the blue light glasses, which if you don't use these, get a pair, because I've definitely noticed a difference in my sleep. Yeah, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe. Hope you enjoyed it. And next week we'll be 1 week closer, 1 week fitter, and carry on working on weaknesses. So I'll see you then.